धीरा धीरा जन प्रिय
विचारणैक निपुणं
samasthapaku lokanam hitakarinam tribhuvane mannam saranna karo Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thanava Pranam, you are welcome.
He also has a list of questions. How many? 152.
Choose a question.
He reads and then he puts the question.
Very good. Very good. I like to see that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you're welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanava Pranam. Please, you can start Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Some humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
It's time now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So we can start?
Maharaj, yes, Maharaj, you can start, Maharaj.
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Desaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati. Devi Gaura Bhani Pracharya Nirvasesa Sunyavadi Pastatya Satari. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanandana Sakaya Chakshuran Dina Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Savitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dharati Swapalanti Vandeyam Sri Gurun Sri Taparikama Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam
Kavi Prabhu, we are not hearing Maharaj.
Krishna Sagana Lalita Sri Visakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapati Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kantana Goringi Radhe Bandavanishwari Vaisavana Sukhi Devi Anami Hari Priya Vam Chakor Patayo Yascha Kripa Sandhyayevacha Patita Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna. We are reading from SRIMAD Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4. The appearance of Sri Narada. Text number 83. Tam abhigyaya sahasa pratyutaya gatam muni ujayam asa vidivan taradam surapujitam tam abhigyaya sahasa pratyutaya Ujayamasa Vidyavan Taradam Surapujitam Tam Abhigyaya Sahasa Pratyutaya Gatam Muni Ujayamasa Vidyavan Naradam Surapujitam. Tam Abigyaya. Sing the good fortune of his Narada's arrival. Sohasa, all of a sudden, Pratyutaya, getting up, Agatam, arrived at Unihi, Vyasari, Pujayamasa, worship, Vidivat, what the same respect as offered to Vidi Brahma. Naradam to Narada, Surapujitam, worshipped by the demigods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace.
Srila A.C. Bhakti Swami
At the auspicious arrival of Sri Narada, Sri Vyasadeva got up respectfully and worshipped him, giving him veneration equal to that given to Brahmaji, the creator. Purport. Vidi means Brahma, the first created living being. He is the original student, as well as professor of the Vedas. He learned it from Sri Krishna and taught Narada first. So Narada is the second Acharya in the line of spiritual disciples section. He is a representative of Brahma, and therefore he is respected exactly like Brahma, the father of all Vidis, regulations. Similarly, all other successive disciples in the chain are also equally respected as representatives of the original spiritual master. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, fourth chapter of the SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, entitled The Appearance of Sri Narada. Falling from behind. We remember that Srila did great job, which is not common for everyone to do. By compiling the Veda was a huge work, but cheap. Not only compiling, he has to train disciples and giving them, after their qualifications, the respective section of the Vedas to handle, made them hold acharyas. But he himself, with all that he has done, was not happy. Very disturbed, worried. I was concerned about the cause of the despondency. As a sage, he did not accuse anyone. But he sat down quietly and deeply contemplated the issue. Where have I gone wrong? What is wrong with what I did? What is my mistake? He was deeply thinking about it. But remember, we are talking about Gajendra. How he developed intelligence to deal with his situation. Gajendra has a serious problem. He was facing death. He tried all he could to get himself free. He did not succeed. His followers tried, they didn't succeed. The wife could only cry with pity because they couldn't do anything, which the mighty husband and other friends of the husband couldn't do. They simply cried and went away. Seeing his helpless situation and not finding the solution, he deeply contemplated. As he deeply contemplated the situation, Sukadeva Swami said, because he was meditating to find a solution on the super soul, when one goes inside, going inside is a consultation with the super soul. The solution was surely come. People who space out, spread everywhere, shouting, making noise, will never get solutions. But those who consulted the super soul by going inside, they will get the solution. So went inside and deeply contemplated, he developed intelligence. What is intelligence? Who is a better person there than the supreme person devoted to surrender to at all times, especially when one is at dangerous situation. He developed intelligence. Yesterday, he deeply contemplated his situation. As a result of that, he also developed intelligence, and the solution also became manifest. While he's doing that, consulting the super soul, the answer came. His spiritual master came. Like what he said, when the students are ready, they couldn't come. When we approach the Supreme Lord for solution, the solution must come. That is the nature of Christianity. Always respond. He always responds to the cries of his children. So, Sri Radhamuni appeared as a solution to the problem. He appeared. When he meditated on the super soul, solution always comes. So yesterday was in deep meditation. The spiritual master descended as the solution to his problem, which is the response of Krishna to all the prayers of the devotees. Sri Radhamuni diagnosed his problem. He diagnosed his problem. I guess he was contemplating. I have under strict disciplinary vows unpretentiously worship the Vedas, the spiritual master, and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the rulings and have shown the import of disciplic succession through the explanation of the Mahabharata, by which even women, Sudras and others, friends of the firstborn, and see the path of it. It is great compassion of yesterday. He cared for everyone because he is a true representative. He followed the process. He respected other chariots and established the disciple succession. He maintained the disciple succession. So he didn't function outside. Yet I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. Why incompleteness? Incompleteness, the Prophet explained in his Upanishad, is due to a living entity's lack of knowledge of the complete perspective of Godhead. We don't have information of the complete spiritual world. Therefore, we are incomplete. Can you imagine? You are given a room to stay with only 24 items to deal with your life. Only 24 items are given to you for life, 24 things for life. You can't have more than 24. How will you feel? Joyful, blissful, ecstatic? We have experience that after you use, when you get a cell phone for the first and second day, you are in the world, you'll be dreaming about the cell phone. After 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, obsolete. So 24 things, what will happen? When you finish the 24 after 24 times 3 days, let's say 1 week. Okay, let's say 1 month. After 1 month, with 24 things, what will happen? Become dry. So when you look at which one is new, which I have to do it, which one? All the 24 things you will be using is one out. There's no new one. Is that life? You use all the 24 dresses you have. Which one? Yeah, this is the situation with material world. 24 elements we're dealing with. That's the ingredient of this material. The ingredients, 24 things. That's what we've been dealing with for life. You know, stale, dried. After shoot all your 24 things. What is left? For the remaining days, it's only frustration I'm going to be. So living entities are full of anxiety in this material world because we were exalted ourselves with the 24 things we have. So if you ask them, say, so I didn't go outside the Vedas. So what's my problem? Oh, this may be because I did not specifically point out the devotional service of the Lord, which is dear both to perfect beings and to the infallible Lord. So Naramuni reached the cottage of Krishna Dwapaya and Vyas on the banks of the Saraswati River, just as Vyasadeva was regretting his death. As he was regretting his regret, you understand? He was deeply contemplating the situation. You see, knowledge is coming. not only the knowledge, now the spiritual master, who is the expounder of this knowledge, has appeared. I said, what was the response of yesterday? At the auspicious arrival of Narada, at this auspicious arrival of Narada. See, yesterday got her. Pratya Pratyuta Gatam. Pratyuta Yagatam. So basically, he got up with all respect, with full respect. Pujayam Asa Vidivan. He worshipped Nadamun exactly the way the worship Bidi, Lord Brahma, the grandfather. Why? Because he's Parampara. Our system is Parampara. He didn't see his spiritual master different from the Brahma. Yes, they saw his spiritual master as equally powerful as the Brahma. So the respect which is given to the Brahma, yesterday gave it to the son of Brahma, who is his spiritual master. Our attitude, the attitude we have towards the spiritual master, we are going to receive exactly the necessities we needed for our progress in Krishna. Yesterday, we didn't see his spiritual master to be less. He didn't see his spiritual master as an ordinary person. He sees his spiritual master as his fortune. Therefore, to show that appreciation, he worshipped Radhamuni. Exactly the way Lord Brahma is honored and respected. He gave him that respect. Biji means Brahma, the first created living being. His original student, as well as professor of the Vedas. The first disciple of Krishna. So Krishna gave Brahma the knowledge how to create this material. He was trained, Krishna trained him perfectly. That is empowerment. The Brahma was trained by Krishna. This is his first son and has a responsibility to manifest other things of Krishna. So the secondary creation of the Lord. So Brahma has the responsibility to do that. For that, Krishna equipped him with every necessity. So he is what? The first student and also the professor. He's going to teach what he has been taught. So the Brahma is Atma. He came from Lord Vishnu, Atma. He said he professor here, he is Vedagarbha. His knowledge was not from any school, but Krishna. Atma Bhu, because he doesn't have a material. He came out from the Vishnu. He learned it from Sri Krishna and taught Narada first. So Narada is the second disciple. Brahma is first disciple. Narada is second disciple. Vyasadeva is third disciple. Parampara. Well, Lord Krishna gave to Brahma, he gave the same thing to Narada, Narada gave the same thing to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva gave the same thing to his son, Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami, who is more advanced. Is more advanced. Is more advanced. He responded what he has given. He didn't give the same thing. He responded it before he gave to his disciples, Shukadev Goswami and all other Goswamis. So this is Bhagavatam is Parikshit Maharaj. Bhagavatam is Parikshit Maharaj is universal. Universal. This is a Bhagavatam of Parikshit Maharaj. It's different because Shukadev Goswami chewed it. Now chewing it means what? When you chew something, how does it become? It becomes softer than the original. And therefore, this Bhagavatam has no seed. The Shukadev Goswami removed this. He removed the seed, he removed the fiber, he removed the skin. And then he gave only Samyutam. Samyutam. That which is easily swallowed. Easily swallowed without difficulty. Because there is no skin, there's no fiber, no chaps, there is no seed. The seed, the chaps, and the skin. So the Goswami has blended all of them. Blended all, made them into semi-solid and easily swallowable. He gave it to Parikshit Maharaj, who is a qualified student. While he was distributing these, Shuddha Goswami and others disciples were all there, and they received it directly. And they have been distributing that to what we have today. So Narada is the second Acharya in the line of spiritual disciple succession. He is a representative of Brahma, and before he is respected, and therefore he is respected exactly like Brahma, the father of all Vidis, those who knows, those who have been fortunate. Those who are fortunate. Similarly, all other successive disciples in the chain are also equally respected as the representative of the original spiritual master. All other successive disciples up to the present divine grace of who mercifully gave this nectar. Bona fide representative. So he is Prabhupada, the divine grace, one who is carrying this divinity, the carrier and the distributor. Perfectly representing Vyasadeva, Narada, and all of them, Sukadeva, Sutta Goswami, all of them, Prabhupada diligently, perfectly, and also refine what Sukadeva Goswami had already done by his purpose. So make it more easily swallowable that Kiratas, Pulinda, Kasas, Abulas, Militaries, Javanas, they now have the opportunity to taste it. It was not available. It was not available like that. So Papa made it available. Easily available. Bhagavatam was never in the street. So Prabhupada brought Bhagavatam to the streets, house to house, street to street, town to town, village to village, island to islands, tribe to tribes, jungle to jungle, planet to planet, universe to universe. Prabhupada is what? Jagat Guru, Param Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, the key, the savior of the whole world. This is Srila Prabhupada's ecstasy. Is ecstasy of Christian consciousness. He has put them inside the book, and we call it Srila Prabhupada's purpose. This is ecstasy. That is Christian consciousness. That is what is inside. He had put it outside in the book. It's eternal nectar. For those who are very, very, very fortunate, and those who are not fortunate, we made fortunate. So Prabhupada made us fortunate. And it was a heavy sacrifice, not so cheap. It was a heavy sacrifice throughout the whole night. While we are sleeping, he is awake, preparing or planning our fortune. So how offensive it will be if we don't take interest in studying this carefully, systematically. We can write beautiful poems, beautiful, powerful English or whatever language you know. You can write. That's a puja for Prabhupada. Write and cook 1,080 kachuris for him. Do it on a disappearance day or in his appearance day. It's okay. Without reading his books. Decoration on dead body. Decoration on the dead body. Who will cook more than Prabhupada himself? All of us. So what kachuri are you going to cook? Who can write a book, write. All the wonderful qualities we have seen in Prabhupada. The pure devotees, they didn't come here to come and show us how pure they are. They came here to teach us how we can become pure like themselves. And for that, Prabhupada gave everything, books at the basis, right? Books are the basis. He gave the book. Which contains everything. Everything. Among other things I did. and he emphatically declared, study these books again and again and again. What you don't understand, read again and again, it to be revealed. So to study these books, read them very carefully. We're having direct associations, direct associations, proper audience. Understanding how to be empowered to represent him. Because he didn't come here to close down the parampara. He came to maintain the parampara. I had one lecture address lecture here in London. My spiritual master, this is Bhakti and what exactly I put it. Is number 10. I mean number 11, and you, my disciple, are number 12. What is that? How do you call that? Parampara. It's parampara. He didn't say, none of you are qualified like me, therefore I came to introduce the parampara, and this is the end. This is the end. So Papa didn't say that. He said, you are number 12. You're expecting that we will use what he has given to us, appreciating what he has given to us, and diligently, very carefully, sincerely follow everything and be empowered by him to represent him. That is his expectation. And he's present about Gita. If I get one person as a pure devotee, I will consider my time success. He's not looking for 1%, but even get 1% is easy. Easy? Die. This is his expectation. He wants to see this. He's waiting to see this. He didn't put any person's name here. That means it is open for all of us. It is open. It's open. Chance. It's open chance. The Jehovah's Witness, their understanding is God has taken 144 people. I don't know what is so special in 144 people. God needs only 144 people. And he has taken the Almighty God, who is unlimited. It's only 144 people he needs in his kingdom. And at the same time, he said, my mansion, that in my kingdom, many mansions. So if in many mansions, who is going to be only 144 people? They want to take care of the one. The very mansion, 144. So anyway, so the remaining of you here, you don't have to go there and stay there. He's going to bring the heaven down for you. Then what is the use of taking the 144 there? Everything is the same. So what is what is the need of going there? It's going to bring what is there down here. So what is the use of going there? Huh? You have already cooked percent of offers. You don't need to cook again. So you're going to bring a service. But Prabhupada didn't say like this. Prabhupada has been yeah, for everybody, not 124, everybody, or Sarva Dehina, all the embodied souls, particularly the devotees who have been very, very, very fortunate to have come to this process. Prabhupada has given us a chance, open chance to come out. Krishna said, make yourself an instrument, I will use you. Let's open invitation. It's there for us. We have the chance to fulfill the desire of our chariots. And that is our glory. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna,
obeisances
Prabhu.
at your lotus feet. All glories
All
to Guru
glories to
Angoranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
God.
Maharaj, thank you very much for the lecture. As thought-provoking as your presentation is, so also is the text thought-provoking. There are some contradictory issues that is bothering my mind, and I know if I put it to you, I'll get answer. In the purport, it said, or in the text, said that Brahma was student and professor.
Yes.
Brahma was student and professor. And then Narad Muni learned from Brahma, the professor. Vyasadeva learned from Narad Muni. In our Krishna consciousness movement, there's also so much of emphasis that we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
But in Padeshamruta, Prabhupada put it clearly that this Krishna consciousness is run under the supervision of Rupa Goswami.
Yes.
So my question is, if Vyasadeva worship Narad Muni as Brahma will be worshipped,
Yes.
when we do Vyas Puja, it is referred to worshiping Vyasadeva.
Yes.
That is where my curiosity is coming. If we are worshiping Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva worshipped Narad Muni. Narad Muni worships Brahma. So why is it that we have to worship Vyasadeva or worship or become Rupanugas instead of becoming Mahaprabhunugas or worshiping Lord Brahma? Why is it that is the third party, third person, Vyasa, that is worshipped as Vyasa Puja? I don't know if you understand my.
Yes, I tried.
My question clear, Maharaj?
Very clear. Thank you, Prabhu. Very clear. That is the meaning of parampara. Parampara. We worship Rupa Goswami. We said we are called Rupa Nugas. You don't say Chaitanya Nugas. So Rupa and Nugas. We are following Rupa Goswami. Why are we following Rupa Goswami? Because he is the student of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So whatever we offer to Rupa Goswami, it is going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Krishna clearly taught Uddhava in 11th canto. The worship of my devotee is superior to my worship. Worshiping my devotee is superior to mine. Krishna takes pleasure to see his devotees honored more than himself. So we honor Rupa Goswami, who is not different. And Rupa Goswami is not different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The same way, Vyasadeva, we worship Vyasadeva through the present representative of Vyasadeva, the spiritual master. Because The special master is representing me. So everything is coming in the chain and it goes like that. Otherwise, the parampara system will be cut off or it will be finished. And I think some people will be happy it's not there because because our let's say envy is expanding. As the envy expands, we're going to present philosophy as if we are humble, but actually the motivation behind not humility is envy. And it is, and some of us think that what we are projecting and thinking that nobody knows, we don't know that it is clearly known. So that is going on. Because for some of us, we don't have the culture of respect. So seeing someone being respected is like, what is this? You can't stand to face it. You don't have the culture. But here in the Vedic tradition, we see the culture of respect is very high because you know that without the respect, you cannot get what you want. Because this requires a great humility, not just humility, pure humility, transcendental humility. Okay? You come through discipleship succession. Our strength in Krishna consciousness is from Parampara. Our strength. So here Krishna is establishing the discipleship succession, and he takes pleasure in re-establishing it. Whatever it is broken, you re-establish it. But Krishna was speaking about it. I didn't tell Arjuna, now he's trying to be spiritual. I say, you go and take your place. Bonifaz was saying, refer him to the importance of spiritual. He's speaking, he's talking. So Arjuna already have the spiritual. But he referred him to the spiritualness. Parampara. So the importance of Parampara is established, fully respected. So we see that when Brahma received knowledge from Krishna, give to Narada. Narada received from Brahma, give to Vyas. Vyas passed it on. So here, when the wind appeared, Lord Vyasadeva stood up with all respect and offered him. Vyasadeva, he knows Brahma. He knows Brahma perfectly well. But he didn't offer obeisance to Brahma, he offered the respect. And all the necessary worship which is due for Brahma, he gave it to Narada. Why? This is Brahma representative. He carried Lord Brahma with him. That is a representative. A representative will distribute the goods of the company he represents. He won't distribute something else. If he distributes something else, is not a bona fide representative, he will be fired. So the chain of the separate succession is established and it followed perfectly here. And the potency carried comes from there. I remember when I talked about the instruction in the disciple, you cannot jump in me. You cannot jump over me towards wisdom. You cannot. So that's our tradition. So I don't know if I answer your question.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. You did. I'm grateful.
Hare Krishna.
So, Maharaj, please, we have Sukadev Prabhu's hand or Sukadev Goswami Prabhu. Please submit yourself and ask Maharaj question. Sukadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my obeisances. Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Gurudev. I have two questions, Guru Maharaj. My first question is about Lord Brahma. You say he's Atmabu, and
Yes.
because he was not born from the womb of any woman, but also we find out that he has children. like the four Kumaras and the sages and Lord Shiva, that came out from him. So are they also Atmabu? That is my question, Maharaj.
Yes, they don't have a material mother. Yes. But they came up from Brahma. So yes, they are Atmabu. I'm gonna address them as such. Yes, they are.
Yes, Gurudev. Yes, Gurudev. My second question is about, you spoke about introspection on the super soul. And then you said that why we introspect on the super soul, the Lord naturally provides. The moment we start introspecting on him, we start talking about to the Lord within, the Lord always provide an answer. And in this regard, he sent the spiritual master. But what about in situations where so many people are not introspective, they were not even ready, and the spiritual master comes? Like, let's say in the instance of Jada Bharat, Maharaj Rahugana. Maharaj Rahugana was not expecting he's going to meet Jada Bharat. Neither was he expecting that he's going to get some instruction from Jada Bharat. But it so happened. So how do we balance these two?
Yeah, very good twisty. They are special master who came for everyone. Special master, they came for everyone. That is what, like Prabhupada came. We didn't come for him, he came. But all of them, either they came personally or they came for specific personality. There has been some cry. There has been some cry, some demand, some tension. What is this? What is this? How can I get out of this? Always it is there. And Krishna will say, there's a specific one, like the Gajendra will talk like yesterday. These are specific. That they were in serious anxiety and they meditated for Krishna, like demigods. Meditated for Krishna, please come and do something. I do that, I call him the Chaitanya. They meditated. So the Lord had this arrangement that he will come specifically for the request of certain demigods or some big personality like a greater child or Gajendra or Jessica. They will come. And they are general one that come also. And Prabhupada came from general. So both ways they come.
Yes.
Collective or an individual.
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you very much, Gurudev.
The Lord is always there, very, very kind. And He makes arrangements for us. Everyone is crying seriously. Yes, everyone. Everyone. They have, they don't have. Everyone is crying. Because our problem is not to attract the spiritual. We don't. They focus on that. All right.
Thank you very much, beloved Gurudev. Thank you.
Maharaj, please, we have His Grace Ade Prabhu wants to ask you a question, Maharaj.
Please, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Very happy to see you.
Very happy to see you, Maharaj. It's beautiful. You had to end the chapter. Maharaj, my question is on Srila Prabhupada's books. I remember one time I had gone out, I traveled to a different town for Sankirtan book distribution. And where I was hosted, I was attacked by some sort of evil spirit. And so what I did was I took out all my Sankirtan books from my Sankirtan bag, I displayed them, and because most of our books we have Krishna's pictures at the back, I became free from the evil attack.
Yeah.
These days, most of our books are in tablet form. Even though the content is still the same, but my question is, do they carry the same potency in our phones, in our tablets, as they are in like hardbound, black and white? Hare Krishna.
Yes. the book carries the potency of the writer. Just like the food carry the consciousness of the cook. Our song carry the energy which is when they were thinking to come out through the sound. So the book has that. And you have practical experience that it saved you after displaying the book. The sound, the personality, they carry heavy potency. Or they're not ordinary things. That is why Mr. Papa himself he said, what would your 5-minute talks do? Let them touch the book. And one of the secret of distributing books in the street, you're talking to somebody, let them hold the book in their hand. You don't hold the book, I'll be talking to them. Let them hold the book in their hand. So the book is talking, the purity. So the proper inside the books we speak to the people. So our talk is just an introduction to make it personal. That's all. So we should be convinced of this and we should know this. And let the people hold the book. Because the book is pure. They will be affected by the purity and technique. Even without our 5-minute talks, they will take. Many people will take the book with a good heart, even without our talking. Let them just see the book. They will take. Because the potency is there. And properly said, every page of Bhagavatam, you see Krishna. Every page. Open. We may not see, some of us, not all. Some of us may not see. But proper sees, and those who are on proper level, also to see Krishna standing every page. Even theoretically, we can experience that. If we absorb ourselves deeply in reading, studying this book carefully, you will see the potency that comes upon us. So if Krishna is not there, how will we to get that? And also look at the level of purity, purification that we get. So it is true that this book will carry the purpose, and we can connect with that by touching them, by reading them, by studying them, by teaching them, by hearing them. All right.
Thank you, Maharaj. My other question, if I may ask, is we read how Srila Vyasadeva got up and worshipped his spiritual master Narada Muni. And in ISKCON today, I'm not sure, I may be wrong, but it seems we do not treat our living spiritual masters as spiritual masters. We only look up to Srila Prabhupada. There is nothing wrong in looking up to Srila Prabhupada, but like Srila Prabhupada himself said, one cannot jump. So I cannot jump over my guru to go to Srila Prabhupada to worship him. But in today's ISKCON, we are not allowed to worship our gurus. So I don't know how that is adversely affecting, I think it's adversely affecting devotees. And I don't know if the GBC is considering something like that. Because to me, when the disciple is no more worshiping his guru, because ISKCON actually means guru worship. It's all guru. So I don't know whether it's a question or it's a remark, but I find it a bit worrisome that in today's ISKCON we do not worship our gurus. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, both questions and comments it said they're good. It is good. Yeah, observation is correct. The observation is correct. And those who are very, how would I say, who are introspective, those who are very serious and very sincere and sincerely understand the process, they feel the same way you're feeling. Out of that circle, taught us attachment to the special master in the fulfill desires. But some people will say your guru is not pure. It's not to the level of power. So attachment to proper is the perversion of or desire. But actually, you see, they will disturb the mind. They will disturb the mind. And they are disturbing the mind. Some are not talking about those who can see, can feel it. It's disturbing the mind. But anyway, we have to use our intelligence and practice our Christian consciousness as it is. We are individual and we have a collective practice, individual practice and collective practice. Individual understanding and collective understanding. Let us use our intelligence to work our ways to be successful in our Christian consciousness.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay.
Maharaj, we have only one hand more up. George Omega. George Omega wants to ask you a question, Maharaj. So please submit.
He's always inquisitive.
Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Oh, glory.
Okay. Maharaj, I would like to know from today's contest, do we have to see Lord Brahma as a demigod, or we have to see that as a part of the disciplic succession? Because him being the first disciple, and from him, Narada, and say the third person I've forgotten. So in this context, do we have to see him basically as a demigod, or we have to see him as a part of one of the spiritual masters? That's my question.
Yeah, your question is good. Lord Brahma is a demigod. He is a demigod. And he is a first created being in the universe. Therefore, he is also in the parampara. If you listen carefully, I did mention that what he gave to Narada gave to Vyasa, Vyasa gave to Swami is different from what we have today. Swami Goswami has expanded and make it better than what we have. So we will accept the Sukadeva Goswami as a spiritual master and not Brahma. If you want to be successful in Krishna consciousness, the mistake Brahma made, Sukadeva Goswami don't make it, and will not make it because of their spiritual level. All right.
Maharaj, Bhakti Kevin in the chat room. Yeah. He said, Maharaj, thank you very much. You spoke of Super Soul communicating with advanced devotees. Aspiring devotees often get what we might call flashes of insight. How to know whether this insight is Super Soul communicating with us or our own mind, wishful thinking?
The Super Soul is communicating always. Always the Super Soul is communicating. And it's always guiding and directing us. There is always a difference between the super soul talking and the mind talking, or the intelligence talking. There's always difference. And to make it authentic, to be sure exactly who is talking, whatever we have, whatever realization we have, whatever dreams we have, whatever informations we have received, we should get it confirmed from the spiritual master. Then we'll know exactly what is it. Otherwise, I can wake up one and say, the Lord told me that you are my enemy. I had a dream this night. The Lord told me very clearly. But I have to get it confirmed from the spiritual master to be sure. Otherwise, we can make a lot of mistakes. One Christian lady, she's looking for a husband. So one morning she told one boy, the Lord told me that you are my The boy said, yes, you are correct. I had the same dream that I'm not fit for you. I said. So we get it from the Guru. Let the Guru tell us if it is coming from super soul, it is coming from the mind. That's our security. So in this way, we'll never make mistakes. All right.
He has a second question. I want him to ask directly the second one because I cannot understand. Please, Kevin Prabhu, can you answer the second question yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now, Prabhu?
Yes, I'm here.
We are hearing you.
No, I just wanted to say that his mind slips my memory right now, but he was talking about how the current trend in ISKCON now is for one to not so much take direction from the Guru, rather to jump over to Prabhupada. And you know, it's just an institutional thing, but I think a lot of that comes from the fact that so many gurus are so preoccupied and concerned with the institution's managerial affairs that they can't afford to sit down and give individualized attention to their disciples. So for that reason, a lot of disciples, they just turn to Prabhupada Shiksha because they don't get that personal Shiksha from their own Diksha Guru. That's just my personal.
Yeah, as I said, is correct. The fact that some of us are acting less or we are not acting properly should not rule out the issue of the Guru, the importance of Guru. That is where the subtle problem is coming from. I got a point, and I agree that yes, some of us are not acting properly. We are too much into managerial section, and we are forgetting the spiritual need, the care of the disciple, which is a crime according to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada says it's illegal to accept disciple and not be responsible. If I find it in the second CANTO BHAGAVATAM, it is illegal. So being illegal should not interfere with the reality. That we are convinced. I want to convince everybody that Guru is the problem. I don't agree with that. Like it is said, don't throw a baby away along the bad water along with the baby. Throw the bad water away, but not the baby. You wash the baby inside the water, so now the baby is clean. So the dirty water should be thrown away. We keep the baby. But the problem is that we want to throw away both of them. It is not correct. I can't imagine how the movement will function without the Guru. Or even think of it, how it should look like. We want to close down the Prabhupada. I don't know if we're thinking if this will please the Prabhupada. when he said, Guru is what? Number 10, I am number 11, and you are number 12. So what is that? We want to close the 12. I don't think Prabhupada came to close down Prabhupada. I don't think so. Nobody can convince me that Prabhupada came to close down Prabhupada. Nobody can convince me. But throw away Guru means what? Closing that chapter.
Yes, thank you.
Which is not correct. If you want to take Shiksha from Prabhupada and forget, because my present Guru is not giving me, still you are not going to get it. How many first we hear from Prabhupada? Why are we teaching Bhakti Sastri Bhakti Baba? Why are we teaching? If Prabhupada is there, we were teaching from Prabhupada's purport. Means what? We have different level of understanding the same thing Prabhupada is teaching. So if you every one of us doing Bhakti study, always discover that what I thought I know was nothing. Why somebody is explaining. Who is that? It's representing Prabhupada. And we're saying that that person should not exist.
Yeah.
What does it mean? We appreciate the proprietor of the school, but we don't need a teacher. The teacher is not value. The proprietor of the school, the proprietor is perfect. But the teacher in the school is useless. You don't need to have the teacher. Will he work alone? The proprietor will work alone?
Wow.
It didn't make a mistake by bringing workers to assist him, the proprietor. Is it a mistake he made? That he bringing workers to help him in his service? Papa clearly, and with tears, Papa with tears and I said, my Guru sent all of you to come and help. The credit of Papa, he gave it to his disciples. And we don't want it. But the people Papa is giving his credit to, we don't want them. So we're saying we don't want them. How is it?
That is a perfect answer. Perfect answer. About the school and the principal. Perfect answer.
I don't know how we will please Prabhupada. How do we think Prabhupada is feeling when we are acting like this and living like this? This is a spiritual moment. Why can't we consult Prabhupada to ask him if he's pleased with this thing that we're doing?
Wow.
This is a spiritual movement. It's a modern movement. It's okay, but this is a spiritual movement. We should act better. If we have so much faith as we think we have in Prabhupada, why can't we consult Prabhupada? Why do we think that Prabhupada is not here? All right?
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, we see have Praja Lakshmi. She wrote on the chat room. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, thank you very much for your lecture. Maharaj, please, what's of those who dream and the dream happens in reality? Does it mean that that particular incident has ever happened in our lives?
That is not dream. That is called precognition. Precognition. Krishna has informed of something going to happen before it happens. Dream is illusion. I'm a king. Wake up, you're not the truth. You're not a king. That's a dream. That's illusion. But when we get something in the dream and it becomes a reality, that is a message. We call it dream because it came in the sleep, but it's not dream. It is precognition. We are informed of something before it takes place. It is happening because it's a special moment. It is happening and it will happen. So if we are sincerely practicing, we'll see all this thing because this is a it is a natural thing that happens with everything. It's natural. But when we have something which is challenging, which is difficult, then that we have to consult. But something like this, I got it and it happened. We should know this is the message. But most of the time, they go have to try something in a dream before something, before physical. But if you, most of us are sincere, you will have an experience about this. All right?
Yes, Maharaj, I don't know, maybe you see have more time. His Grace Goragopa Prabhu is raising his hand.
Okay.
Okay. Please, you can ask Maharaj your question, please.
Last one, because my lecture is in 30 minutes. Next lecture is 30 minutes.
Thank you very much for your time, Maharaj.
No problem.
Please, you can increase your volume. We are not hearing you. Put your mic.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dhanava Pranam, so Mr. Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisance, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Maharaj, just in sequel to what you actually said, I remember a couple of lectures ago, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness, Captain SRIMAD was thanking Rajalila Mataji for saying Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj's pranam before her class. And I remember even back in England, he always emphasized when people wants to give classes, and he always emphasized that they should always say the Guru's pranam before Srila Prabhupada's pranam, except if they are directly Srila Prabhupada's disciples. So it's just a confirmation of what you just said, which is always nice to hear. And then secondly, in a guru-disciple relationship, Maharaj, sometimes how do we deal with a situation? Because, a lot of disciples, sometimes they want to venerate the spiritual masters. And, and even among disciples, we have hierarchies of disciples. There's some disciples that are a lot senior than others. And, where we have the senior devotees or the senior disciples always trying to, or a senior disciple trying to make a certain junior disciple look a little bad in front of the spiritual master, especially when the spiritual master is not around. And how do you reconcile that? Because the spiritual master, sometimes they look at the senior disciple and they listen to them. It is what the senior disciple tells them that they actually sort of do. As a junior, what would you advise? Because I don't think it's ideal for you to want to defend yourself sometimes, but what would you advise such a junior disciple to do? It's just, it could be a little digression from the regular class, but this has been a concern for me, and I thought I should just mention it.
Well, it is happening. It is happening, and it will continue to happen. So what should we do? We should, if we are genuine disciples, if a senior devotee is trying to, or is doing, blackmailing me before the special master, I want to make the whole world knows I'm useless, I'm this, I'm that, because I'm not. The best thing, do not try to defend yourself. Don't. Just depend on your sincerity and understanding that the spiritual master knows, the Krishna knows, and this is just a question of time. Time will reveal everything, and you'll be glorified. Don't try to defend yourself, because if you try, you won't succeed. Rather, you will aggravate the situation, because that is not the way. Just wait for time, it will be out, and the truth will come out in the way that you will feel very happy. When we don't have faith, then want to defend, want to prove, want to make sure that I'm not like that, you will not succeed, because I know the process. Just wait. Do not feel bad. Accept it, and Krishna will bring out the truth in due course of time. It has been happening like this. It will continue to happen like that. So we should have faith in Krishna and have faith in the spiritual master. And when we are sincerely trying our best, if we're crooked, then it will go that way. If you're sincere, everything will come out for our own glory. Our practical experience, and I'm sure that you will have the same experience. Makes sense?
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Yes, absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj,
Thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing you back in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. So we appreciate your time, Maharaj. So we want all devotees, please, we unmute ourselves and let us chant one Hare Krishna to appreciate Maharaj for his time.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vanchaka Priyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Bhakti Vedanta Vani Vyevacha Vani